Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing a review on the Blueberry Pecan Waffles 2-wick soy candle from a small business called thatcandleplace based out of New York. This is their 20-ounce vessel, however they have since specified that it is 17 ounces of wax. Regular price, I purchased this at $20, however I noticed that their Christmas collection is now, the 2-wicks are priced at $21. But going back to this fragrance notes, sweet blueberries, pecan, waffles, maple syrup, vanilla, and butter. So I believe this was a part of the fall collection, so I don't know if it's still available. But to give more information, these are 100% soy wax candles made in small batches in the USA. Approximate burn time is 120 plus hours, double braided cotton wicks, and they are hand poured in Pavilion, New York. So the wicks. I did notice that these are the flat curling type wicks, which I'll get to in a little bit, but I did have some issues with the wicks specifically. The strength on cold, I would give this about a 7 out of 10. And to talk about the fragrance, I think the main issue was that I didn't get much of the pecan or the waffle notes. I do have to say that this reminded me a bit of blueberry maple pancakes from Bath & Body Works in the same aspect that I mainly got the blueberry. So for the Bath & Body Works fragrance, you mainly just get the blueberry and the maple, and you don't really get much of the pancakes. This is the same feel, but you don't get much of the pecan or the waffles. But going back to the blueberry note, I feel like it's very deep and syrupy. It's not a fresh blueberry note, at least to my nose. It definitely smells cooked. It is sweet, but not cloyingly sweet to my nose. And the butter smells fresh and it's not salted, because I know sometimes some butter leans a little bit salted, so you can get a little bit of a savory feel. And there is a bit of a lactonic nuance. I don't know if that's coming from the waffle note, but perhaps to me, it comes across more as like waffle batter, but it's very, very small and in the background, so it's hard for me to detect it. But the main note overall I get is the blueberry and the syrup combo. To talk about the first burn, it took about 2 hours for this candle to fully pull out, and I didn't trim my wicks. And the scent I got was extremely light. It was hardly detectable, and I had this burning where I always burn my candles, so my medium-sized bedroom in the corner. And since it's been getting a little bit chillier, well, it's not even that chilly. It's like in the 73, 75 in the house, so the air has not been turned on at all. But from what I was able to smell, I mainly got blueberries and almost like a blueberries and cream combo or a blueberry milkshake fragrance. So I couldn't detect the pecan or the waffle note, unfortunately. And the sweetness from the maple syrup was still there. Again, it's just very light. So I'm thinking that the butter and the vanilla combo reads to me as lactonic. But sadly, I would like more of the pecan and the waffle note. But okay, let me go on to my experience now. I have been burning this for 2 hours, and I noticed that now I am getting a little bit of issues with the wax as well. I feel like it's starting to become a bit discolored a bit, whereas before it was more of a creamy white color, and now it's getting a little bit murkier. So I have been burning this with a hurricane and without a hurricane to see if that helped with the strength and throw. And unfortunately, it did not. So while burning, I would still, while burning, I would give this about a 3 out of 10. And that's mainly if you get very close. And I've also had another issue with the wicks is one of my wicks keeps curling and it has self-extinguished itself about 2 or 3 times. So I had to kind of flip the candle over to see if I had a wick go out on me and just didn't notice it. And I would have to blow out the other flame, straighten out the wick, and then relight it. So that's another issue that I had with the fragrance or with the candle itself. I haven't noticed any Klingon wax just because I feel like when I put it in the hurricane, that really solves that issue. Let me go ahead and give you an overhead view to show you how my candle looks like 2 hours after I've lit it. Okay, so here is the overhead view of my candle. If you see there, my wicks, I would describe them as medium. So the problem that I find is that they don't really mushroom as much anymore now that I'm about halfway done with the candle. But I feel like they do still want to curve. So when I want to trim off that curved part, it makes the wicks shorter than I would like. but it does help when I put it in the hurricane. It kind of just makes the wax pull a bit deeper. But as far as strength and throw, there are times that I have this on that I can't detect it. And I've tried burning it in 2 different size candle hurricanes that I've had. And I've tried having it burning for different amount of times. So I've tried as low as 2 hours, like as soon as it has an even wax pull, all the way up to the recommended burn time of 4 hours. And that does not help with the strength or the projection. So unfortunately, while this one is burning it was burning relatively cleanly up until the halfway mark. And I've noticed that wax discoloration, it's very slight, but I can tell that the more I burn this candle, the more of an issue it'll become. So unfortunately, even right now when I'm filming this video, I'm about, I would say like 3 feet away from the candle, and I can't detect it unless I'm hovering over it and I'm kind of wafting the air. I had my sister burn this in her smaller size bedroom, and the airflow there is great, and she also couldn't detect it. If I did burn candles in bathrooms, I'd probably designate this as a bathroom candle, but I feel like it would still be light in there as well. Despite the fact that I love blueberry candles, unfortunately, this one just hasn't performed well. It's extremely light in terms of strength and throw. And I've had that issue with the wicks where, especially with the one on the left, wants to self-extinguish itself and it curves in a bit too much. And the wax looks like it's getting a bit murkier. Not right now, but when it solidifies, I feel like it's not that creamy white that it started off as. Here's how it looks like after 2 hours. So I guess the good thing is that I haven't noticed any like visible soot emitting from the candle. I have an okay wax pull right there. I would classify these flames as medium. And this is how it looks like when I don't have it burning in one of my 2 hurricanes. When I have it burning in my hurricane, I would say that the wax pull is maybe about 3 centimeters deeper. Just the wax pull is deeper. And also, I get an even wax pull a lot sooner. So without a hurricane, I would say I get an even wax pull after, right now at the midway mark, an hour to an hour and a half. And I feel like the hurricane takes anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes off of that time period. But yeah, here is a full view of the candle. So unfortunately, while I really like this scent, especially on cold, I can't really smell it. So I think I'm just going to power through this one and finish it off. And since it's really light, I feel like I can mix it with anything and it wouldn't disturb the other candle that I have going. So I feel like I could have this going with a fruity scent, a floral scent, a citrusy. Well, citrusy is kind of fruity. So basically I can have this burning with anything else and I probably will only detect the other candle. But yeah, that has been my experience with this Blueberry Pecan Waffles candle from That Candle Place. Let me know if you have any questions and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.